Alrighty, and people are still trickling in, but it is 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. But hello, thank you all for joining us today. My name is Natalie Layton. I'm the president and CEO of the Yountville Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to be introducing our featured speaker. We have with us Andreas Mueller-Schubert with WSI Next Gen Marketing. Before I hand it over to him, I just wanted to go over just a couple of housekeeping items. First and foremost, there will be time for questions throughout the presentation, so please feel free to put them in the chat box at the bottom of your screen. The team and I will make sure that we keep an eye on there if any questions pop up. And lastly, like I said at the beginning, this will be recorded, this webinar, and it will be made available on our YouTube channel in case you want to revisit anything, but just wanted to give that disclaimer as well. And with that, I am happy to hand it over to Andreas to take it away. Andreas?
Yes, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm going to share my screen. And please let me know when you see it. Do you see it? Okay, perfect. So again, thanks so much for the opportunity to talk about how to drive growth for my business. That's a very marketing-related topic. We are a marketing agency. I think some of you have seen me at networking events and kind of other webinars that I have done. Maybe a very quick introduction. So we are a full-service marketing agency. Just this month, we celebrated 11 years since we opened here in Napa. We are part of a global network, which is called WSI, has about 1,500 agencies in 80 countries. And since years, we belong to the top 10 agencies within this network. So we are very proud about this. Very happy with the clients. We have happy clients, over 200 clients in tourism, wine industry, restaurants, non-profit. So we try to address as many industries as possible. We have a dedicated website for destination marketing. So if you're a tour operator, restaurant, destination marketing organization, that's your place. And since years, we also have a dedicated website for the wine marketing. So you might find us under Next Gen Destination Marketing or Next Gen Wine Marketing. We're very happy. We only have 5-star reviews. And we also won 15 international awards for best-in-class web design, 4 awards alone in 24. And we're actually submitting right now for 25. So that's always nice to get some feedback from judges. What we do, very quickly, marketing strategy development. I'm actually going to cover a little bit of this in today's presentation. Then we help our clients with their brand presence, developing websites. And, we do a lot of content creation, social media, graphic design. So all the services that represent your brand. The other side of our business is really helping to grow the business. And this is going to be the key focus today in this discussion. And very recently, we introduced AI services. AI is changing the world significantly. Sam Altman, the OpenAI CEO, said that 95% of marketing will be done by AI in 5 years. That makes me, as an owner of a marketing agency, very excited. So we are getting deep into AI keynotes and webinars, trainings, consultancy services, helping with adoption. So that's a new service category that we have introduced. And now let's go and start. Okay. Agenda. I want to talk about, and the goal is really thinking about how do I promote my business or my services? How do I differentiate in the ocean of other companies that people come to me, be it a winery, be it a restaurant or hotel, that I attract people to come to me? So it's very important to build the foundation. We're going to talk about the foundation, marketing foundation strategy, and what really are key components of it. A very important area is the buyer's journey. When people have an idea, let's say you're in New York and you say, let's go to Napa Valley, and you're going to start searching in this journey until they come down to the point to reserve a wine tour or to go for make some reservations at a hotel. This journey is very important to understand, especially if you think about different marketing tactics along this journey. I have to add search engine optimization, or what I call actually search everywhere optimization, because search, the SEO organic traffic, I see it in Napa Valley nearly with every one of our clients. It is a major source of website visitors. It really drives to get engaged visitors, but it's changing so fast, a big impact from AI and other channels. That's why I'm calling it a search everywhere optimization. So that's going to be a little bit a deeper dive on this. I could run a 2-hour webinar on this alone, but I want to give you a couple of ideas what's happening in this area. And then we go back, okay, we go into, if I want to promote something, I give you some examples of omni-channel marketing along the sales funnel. I give you a tour example of a tour company, and I give you an example for selling off some wine inventory, having a marketing campaign and what should be done. I also have a sales funnel simulator to give you an idea how you can calculate the ROI of such campaigns and how you measure success, for example, in Google Analytics 4. I'm planning to do a little pause after the first two areas when we talk about marketing and the buyer's journey for questions, and then definitely questions after the search everywhere optimization. I'm sure I'm getting questions here because it's a very important topic. And then at the end, we're going to have an open mic. So any question that you have, I'm reserving 10-15 minutes at the end so that you can ask questions. Okay, let's get started. Building the foundation. It's really about creating a marketing strategy. And there's a source. I have written a long blog. It's actually a really long blog. I think it's over 2,500 words long, about what are key components for a successful marketing strategy, what we need to think through. And it really starts, think about yourself going out through a stormy ocean. And if you don't have a marketing strategy, it's like sailing without a compass. You don't know where you're going to end up. So the marketing strategy is really the foundation, and it's very important to think about, and we do this with our clients every year when the budgets are being set. Now you know your business goal, let's think about the marketing strategy, how to achieve these goals. So it's very important to align it with the business goals, setting clear marketing objectives. And one thing that's very important to understand, it's a little bit of self-assessment against your competition. Where do you stand? What's my competitive advantage? What makes me unique? What are my unique selling propositions? And really understanding how to position your offerings, your companies. And I can tell you AI, if you use it in the right way, has a lot of capabilities to help in this area. So that's a very good, especially if you go into the deep research areas, that can help you a lot how to differentiate yourself with your offering or as a company. Very important to think about the target audience and the market segments that you want to address. And we know that we have some generational shifts going on, in the wine industry, in the visitation. So we really need to think about our target audience and what is most important, how do we reach the target audience? As we have this shift, the target audience might be on a different channel that we need to start thinking about. And I'm going to give you some example of what's happening and how we can address especially the younger demographics. Understanding the customer journey along the sales funnel in relationship to you. And now we know what is the target audience. Now we have an understanding how they search things, how they make their decision. So if you need to specifically build marketing campaigns along the sales funnel and then selecting the right marketing channel to talk to the target audience. And then at the end, we need to have a comprehensive marketing plan that covers all the different things you have, your website, your social media, all the communication that's out, that goes out into the market should follow this guideline. So think about this sailing ship in a stormy ocean. That's your compass. And then as part of this marketing plan, there is a digital marketing. And there's a couple of different tactics we can use, like SEO or digital advertising. And I'm going to explain along the sales funnel where all of these tactics play a role. Content is a very important element, social media, then starting to think about your campaigns. And I'm going to show you two examples during this presentation. Where do I need to touch my digital channels to get the most impact on my goals? Now a level deeper. Now I have my marketing strategy. I know what I want to achieve. Let's say a very typical marketing goal for winery is to attract more visitation for the tasting room. Now I understood what's my differentiation against my competition, and now I want to make a promotion that at the end I'm attracting more visitors, or I'm selling wine, or whatever your business is. It's not for wineries alone, it's for everyone. So the first question we need to ask ourselves, what is my goal for the promotion? What do I want to achieve at the end? Let's say you run, Yountville just did a big promotion for some events, for the passports. So there was a goal to get a lot of people signing up for it. So now that we know the goal, ideally we want to have it specified. I want to increase my tasting room visitation by 10%. I want to sell off 200 cases of this wine. Whatever it is, the goal, and everything starts with the goal. And then the next question is, who do I sell to? The target audience, and how do I reach them? So really thinking about these elements, what's my key marketing message and special offer? Now I'm thinking about understanding the target audience. What do I need to do to tell them that they consider coming to my tasting room or buying my product? And this is very important. What is happening when people click on the link? Let's say you run an ad and you want people to click on the link. You did everything, you did a great work on the ad, and people click on the link. And when you do this, I want you to start counting how long it takes until your landing page shows up. If it's more than 4 seconds, 68% of people will never come back. So it's a website performance. But your landing page also has a huge impact of how people convert. And that's actually the next point. What do I want people to do on my landing page? Do I want them to sign up a form? Do I want them to buy some wine? Do I want them to make a reservation? How easy is it for people to do this action? Is it clear? Do I have trust builders on this landing page? This is very often overlooked. And think about it. You got all the activity. You might spend some Google advertising dollar, and you finally get 100 visitors coming to the page. The average conversion is between 2 to 5%. So out of 100 visitors, you get 2 to 5 people that sign up, that convert. The lower end is when it's hard for people to get to this conversion. So the call to action buttons, the trust builders. Think about the way how the landing page is laid out can have a huge impact. Let's say you spend $200, $300 to get 100 people to your website. And now you have only 2 people converting, or you have 4 people converting. So your cost of acquisition is half of what it was before. So this landing page and the conversion capability of your landing page has a huge impact on the success. How do I get people to my landing page? Which marketing channel? Do I only use one, or do I use several? My social media communication, maybe some advertising. Do I have to change something? Do I write a blog about it to attract people? All of this needs to be considered. And then what's my budget and my ROI expectation? I'm going to have a calculation at the end to help you to think about it. And last but not least, how do I measure success and adjust if required? Because we have a plan, and then as we execute the plan, we might need to look at data, and we might need to adjust. Maybe one of our channels is performing extremely well, where another channel is not as good. Maybe we want to reallocate some advertising dollar to the right campaigns. Let's talk about the target audience. I think this is a very important exercise we should all think about. Segmentation of the audience. There's so many different ways of looking at the target audience. Maybe the geographic location is important. Do I do a nationwide campaign, or do I just do a campaign locally or maybe regional? Gender, what's the persona? I'm going to come to the word persona in a moment. The age of the target audience. What is their lifetime value for me as a company? Am I talking to wine club members, or am I talking to new clients? Which stage of the funnel am I want to catch them with some of the marketing activities I have? And we can do all kinds of different additional, like job titles. If you look at a specific target group on LinkedIn, let's say you want to address on LinkedIn, do some advertising on LinkedIn. It's very important to think about the industry, job title, maybe the organizational type. So these kind of areas help you to segment and understand your audience. And what is a really good exercise is to do a persona development. Really putting yourself into the persona that is your target audience. I just have two personas that we use for our marketing side, just to give you an idea. Julie is a marketing executive in a bigger company, and Eric is a CEO, an owner of a business. They have different goals. If we understand their goals and how they behave, we can actually send them specific information, maybe dedicated emails with the information that they need. So this kind of persona development can actually be a very interesting foundation for a longer term strategy if we understand, who is my target audience. And as I said before, we have quite a lot of shifts going on right now with the demographics. Older generation versus the younger generation. What do they appreciate? How do they come? How do I talk to it? To these kind of audiences is very important. The buyer's journey. It's not brand new concept, but it's a concept that is very interesting to understand how we came up, with digital marketing, because there was a lot of assessment, a lot of data, and Google published this report, thinkwithgoogle.com. It's real data, and they made up the person, but Jill was looking for, I think, some cosmetic products. And when she started, she was looking more general for some makeup, looking at specific learning areas. Then she went to YouTube. Then she went to getting more specific on desktop. Another 20 searches happened. And then she went to, different brands and looked at rewards, birthday gift, what brand offers me some incentives. And at the end, she looked for a location. This journey had 125 touch points along the journey. So two messages here. People don't only search once. When people are in the journey, they're going to educate themselves and get more and more and more down to what they want. And at the end, they look at brands, compare brands, and then they look at the location. 125 searches for a makeup product. Think about yourself when you visit a destination, what you are doing, how you search for it. So this sales funnel is a very, the buyer's journey, and then mapping it to the sales funnel is a very important exercise. And let's talk about the sales funnel for a moment. So the sales funnel is a simplified view. There can be more stages in it, but fundamentally, we have a top of funnel as an awareness or discovery stage where you want to learn. Think about the couple in New York planning to come to Napa. Maybe they're planning to wine country and they're starting to compare different wine regions, and they finally end up and say, hey, Napa Valley would be a great location. So that's happening in this discovery stage. Then in the middle of the funnel, now that it's clear we're going to go to Napa Valley, I'm going to research some very specific hotels, maybe wine tour companies, things to do. I'm going to start and educate myself about brands that I can find in Napa Valley. I might compare brands and say, okay, I'm going to go to winery A and not winery B for several reasons. And then at the end of the tip of the funnel, they make an educated decision to book a tasting or book a tour or whatever it is. So people become, from strangers, they become visitors on your properties, and your properties are website, your reviews, all of these kind of elements are being looked at during the journey. They become leads, and at the end, hopefully customers. As I said, on the top of funnel, people are researching, they want to learn something, they want to educate themselves. Middle of the funnel, they're going to go deeper into their needs, understanding what kind of options do I have. Maybe they want to compare already different brands or different solutions. And at the tip of the funnel, now they want to be convinced when they push the button and make a reservation or buy a tour or whatever it is, that it's the right decision. So now they really look at reviews, they look at information that is provided, maybe some itineraries and all these kind of things that help to make the decision. From a marketing perspective, there's different digital marketing elements that play an important role. Top of funnel is your website, your first impression. And everyone who is in this destination marketing want to really make sure that my homepage really expresses quickly what the experience is about. At the end, we are selling experience. So the website is very important. The photos, videos, blog posts are being read doing at this time. There is advertising that can play a role, all kinds of different areas, search, display, or social. But in that time, we are looking more for general search terms. Social media for sure. Hopefully, people are interested after the website visit, go to the social media. And when they go to social media at this point in time, they want to get a feeling about the brand. And definitely SEO. The search is one of the key drivers. And the destination marketing website of Yountville, for example, the search when people come for what to do in Napa Valley kind of keyword phrases and these kind of things, the blog posts that are generated or created are really important drivers for this top of funnel. In the middle of funnel, now we become more concrete. Your website content is very important here. But it's also online chat, AI chat plays a role, because now you're going to start communicating, you want to learn more. Lead magnets, depending on your business, you might want to have a great white paper. But what's really important that your landing page where you bring people has some very clear call to actions, or you use some forms that people fill out. So now you have an email address, a name, and now you can send them an email. Now you can communicate, you can use your own channels. So the stranger becomes more a known lead, and suddenly different marketing campaigns come in. So social media is a big trust builder, reviews, remarketing, that's where we can use advertising. SEO plays a big role in this area, and email marketing automations, lead scoring, because you want to understand what a lead, for example, is doing on your website. And tip of funnel, I'm ready to buy. So now it comes to the e-commerce conversion. How good is my reservation system? How good is my e-commerce store? How easy do I make it people to connect with me, maybe sending a form? One tip, don't ask too many questions. If your reservation form has too many questions what you want to capture, think about it. Each additional question can be a hurdle to get to the next step. And especially 60% of the visitation is on the mobile phone. So whatever you do, check it on mobile. That is your biggest channel, especially in this phase. People are on their mobile phone, and the better the performance is on the mobile phone of landing pages and conversions, the better, the higher will be your conversion rate and the more leads you will get. Branded, non-branded search plays a big role. So people have learned about your name in the earlier phases. Now they might just going to put in your name to come back. So it's a good tactics also to have branded advertising, because you automatically show up on the top. And you might have seen, if people are searching for your name, that suddenly your competitor shows up with an ad. That's possible. That's the way how you can run advertising campaigns, that you optimize specifically for competitor names. So maybe it makes sense that you do the same, because you will rank higher, because your ad is in connection with the content, your website. So it might be a tactic to put some money in branded search when people really put your name in, and in the final stages to find you immediately, especially on mobile phone. If the top 3 ranking positions on mobile phone get the most clicks. Remarketing, cart and browse abandonment. is very important. For example, when people have looked at, I'm using an example from a winery, looked at specific wines or maybe Christmas gifts, and they did not complete the purchase, we can create a remarketing or retargeting audience and send them specific ads. You might see these ads, and you should be careful during holiday time when you search for gifts on Amazon, and next day you see it on your social feed. Your whole household might see it because it's the IP address that's being used. So, but that's happening. So Amazon is taking what you're looking at, and you get a day later or hour later, you get an email or you get an ad that shows you exactly this product. Personalized emails, the more you learned about your lead, FAQs, videos, demos, reviews, depending on the business, are very important trust builder, and they typically are the last point when people make a decision. Quickly, some lead generation tactics, and I'm going to come back. I already mentioned a few. There's some advertising that's very important, SEO in the top area, social media ads, display ads, search ads are very important, branded and non-branded. Typically, ads that are more general play a role here. When people want to learn something, things to do in Yountville, that could be an area where it might make sense to have a highly SEO optimized blog, but also to do some advertising for it. In the middle, again, the middle is to really understand the audience, and you see we can target followers on social media, people that engaged with an ad, that visited your website. So these are people that are familiar with your brand, so they already know your brand. And what is very interesting in this area, let's say in doing holiday business, you want to sell some Christmas gift bags or something like this. It's much, much easier to sell something to an audience that is a warm audience and already knows your brand. It's much, much harder to sell to someone who has never heard about your brand. So during the year, one of the goals that we do with a lot of our clients is to build a retargeting audience. You want to attract people that are engaging with your content, with your website, and then you can start using the retargeting when you have some special event you want to promote or some special, again, items for sale. SEO, paid search, social media ads, all of these ads play a really big role, but very important channel is email marketing. So one of the goals could be, I want to build a very strong email marketing list, and now I have a channel that you own, you can communicate to your target audience. So one way of building, let's say, momentum for the holiday business or momentum for a season is building this email list. You can run social media advertising that for people to sign up on your email list. So growing this email list is a very important step, and it will create a warm audience that you can use. And then hot audience, tip of funnel. Now the real remarketing on browse abandonment, cart abandonment. Let's say some people put some products into the cart but did not finish for whatever reason. Send them an ad. Search is very important, branded and non-branded. The branded area here is very important. As I said, people remember your name, they might search it, and you want to show up in the top positions. And email marketing is a very important tactic. It's your channel. All the other channels, they are run by someone else. Google runs the channel, Facebook or Instagram runs the channel. They have the rules. On email marketing, you have the rules in your hand. So that email marketing done right can be the most successful converting channel. So that's a very important channel to cultivate and really keep people that already gave you the permission to send emails engaged. It's a great opportunity for some questions. I'm not sure if you have any questions in the chat.
I don't see any in the chat, but if anyone would like to unmute themselves and ask, or if you want to throw your question in the chat, please feel free to.
Hello, Andreas. It's Robert at winespeak.ai. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Robert?
I'm excellent. So my question is regarding engagement. So in my experience with our company and our customers, um, winery websites, no, intent to insult those that design websites like yourself, but they tend to look very similar to each other, right? They tend to have the same fundamental elements. But people are looking for an experience on the website as well, not just in the physical experience, but the website experience to stay engaged. And what we've discovered is that most of our customers, 90% of the visitors to those websites are net new. They've never been to the website before, which is a great traffic indicator, right? That new traffic is coming. But how do you keep them? And we think that you need to have an experience on the front of the website that is different than everybody else in order to stand out. And we're bringing that to the table. But I just want your opinion about engagement and the problems and challenges with engagement.
No, as I said, the website is a major landing spot. It's your business card on the internet, and it's very important. And people are looking for experiences, specifically when they visit us in Napa Valley. So it's very important that the website content is engaging, gives people a feeling. People want to put themselves into the mindset, how would be my experience if I do this wine tour? How would be my experience if I visit this winery? So I can only agree with Robert, what you're saying is the website content and the content refresh of the website. Ideally, it's really addressing the need of the target audience. And again, it comes back to what's my target audience? Are these people, let's say young people that come as a group? Or is it the more experienced couple that really wants to have a high-end wine tasting? These kind of points needs to be communicated. And I know you are in the AI field. I think having the capability on a website that you can ask questions and get some feedback will increase engagement, which is really good.
Well, and may I be provocative in suggesting that maybe lead with AI on your website right on the face of it so they can start engaging in a conversation. We've discovered that when people use an AI agent on the website versus the website alone, they stay twice as long.
Okay, I'm going to continue, Robert. I have lots to cover. This part, search everywhere optimization. You might all know SEO, search engine optimization. There's a brother now, which is GEO, generative engine optimization. So I want to put it actually, a very important topic is search everywhere optimization. And there's some really big changes happening here. Sorry. So what is search everywhere optimization? Just a couple of statistics. Organic search engines are still dominant, but they are losing market share. So if you go back 10 or 20 years, traditional search was 90%, actually 98%, I think 2020 was on searches was traditional search. Google still holds a majority, close to 90%. We have Bing and we have some others. So that's still big. Social media, about 25% of internet users primarily search on social media, especially when they are young. 46% of Gen Z and 35% of millennials prefer social feeds for discovery and for answers. So that's a very important element. E-commerce website, there's more product searches started on Amazon than Google. So that takes a lot of the product-related searches away. AI-powered searches, and not sure if you know some of the statistics, but ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Anthropic have all chat-based search. 400 million people use AI chatbots more or less frequently, and I mean the chatbots, these AI solutions to get direct Q&A. ChatGPT, as an information, last week of April surpassed 1 billion web searches within a week. 1 billion within a week. Still, Google has about 8 billion a day, so there's still a lot of difference, but things are changing. But Google also has their own AI overviews that reached about 1.5 billion users per month. So AI is becoming more and more important in the search results, but also as its own search engine. And there's other things going on. Voice assistants, Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. 20% of global internet users use voice search. That's a pretty significant amount. And then we have video platforms. One thing that's actually interesting, 57% of users on YouTube using the search box for non-video related searches. And then we have maps and local searches. So your Google My Business profile, your Google Maps, your Apple Maps are really very important. There's a lot of search traffic coming from this. If you look at the website data of website visitors and compare it to your Google business profile visitors, you're going to be surprised. Typically it's the same amount of people. So your Google business profile has quite an exposure in the market. I used AI, as many people might do, and I was asking, give me a split. And I did some deep research. There's some functions in AI you can use. I use ChatGPT. Give me an idea of the monthly searches, which channel are people using. Organic search is 40%. Social media, 25% of all searches. E-commerce, it's about 20%. And then AI search is 15%. And again, in this AI search, I talk about ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity in these areas. And I found the statistic of traffic, most popular websites, April 25 compared with to March 25, and everyone lost except ChatGPT. These are the most visited websites that you can find worldwide. Google is number one, but look at the growth of ChatGPT. So what does all of this mean? Let me explain something that's happening on the Google side. These are Google data. These are daily Google searches. If you add them up, I think it's about 8 billion plus or 9 billion searches every day. These are global data. And it's very important to understand the intent. There's informational searches, and you see it here. Users seek answers. They want some explanation or insight. Think about top of funnel in the sales funnel. Now we're back to the top of funnel. Then there is navigational changes. This is about 3 billion or 34% of all searches. These are often brand related searches where you have a brand name, where you already know where you want to go. And then there's commercial searches, which is 14-15%. This is when users evaluate products or looking at service comparisons and these kind of things. And there is 70 million transactional searches. Very important to understand who is playing in different channels again, who is playing which role. Google has a zero-click strategy. Something is wrong with my animation. So Google, since years, Google has a zero-click strategy. When you see the search result page coming back, you see all kind of knowledge boxes, information. And what Google's strategy is to keep people on this page, to have them as many times what they can provide. 60% of all Google searches are zero-click. People never leave the Google search result page. They are not coming to your website. And it plays a really big role here. So the informational side of searches, 60% stays on the Google result page. And think about your own search behavior. Sometimes you just want to get a quick answer to a question that you have. You want to learn something and you get the information right there. I'm not clicking on the next step. But that's an important thing to think about it. AI overviews or AI searches play a really big role on the informational side, and AI searches play a growing role on the commercial side. If you select and want to get comparison of products, and this is where AI is going to become really strong, it's going to pull all the information it can find, looks at the review of products, looks at the feature list. The more questions you ask around the product comparison, the more you're going to end up either on a Google search, AI search. You might use ChatGPT or Perplexity, or you get the AI overview from Google. Very important. Another one that is really important here is social searches. So social searches in this area this is where people are using social searches. They want to understand the brand, they want to understand products, they want to compare. That's what people do on the social media. And remember, big impact on the younger generation. So that's what's happening in this area. There's two fields, the navigational field and specifically the transactional field, which is actually a territory which is very interesting to think about when you think about search engine optimization and really attracting the right visitors. These are highly converting people that are already looking. I want to book a wine tour in Napa Valley. Book wine tour Napa Valley keyword. I want to go to a hotel. I'm looking for a hotel in Napa Valley. Very concrete searches. That's transactional. And people go down the funnel and they're ready to make the decision. So if you think about your search engine optimization or search everywhere strategy, how do I need to create blogs and content to show up here? How do I create my content that AI might take it up and identifies you as an authority so that you show up in the AI searches? That's a very valid strategy, but your blog content needs to be completely different compared to blog content that's on the transactional side. So there's a lot of changes here in this area of search, and I was looking, search is exploding. There were 4.2 trillion searches happening, and it was growing, was doubling over the last 3 years. And these new fields of AI searches, AI answers, social media are driving a lot of these searches. So I think this is a very important topic, and I'm happy to do a deep dive on all of this. What is the impact on the marketing strategy, understanding this for the future? Again, search traffic is about, I would say, if you run a good SEO campaign, it's about 50%. It should be more than 50% of your traffic because people already have an intent. They're looking for something specific. And just the question is, which area do you want to play? Where do you have the highest chance to get to what your goal is? But one thing will happen. Traditional SEO traffic will go down. So everyone who's looking very closely to the SEO traffic should understand that because of these trends, SEO traffic will go down. The question we need to ask ourselves, how important is the informational side, where it's really hard to rank high because we have all these competing things, versus the transactional side. So I think the goal that we all need to measure our success in the future is not so much the traffic, it's the transactions. That's where the real business sits. And where do I focus my energy along this area is going to be a key marketing decision that needs to be really well understood. How do I get to my goals, understanding this big picture? Do we have any questions? I want to be careful I'm not running out of time. Maybe one quick question, and I want to have some time at the end.
I think you might be good. I don't see any in the chat.
Okay, let's continue that you see the whole presentation, then at the end we have some Q&A time. So omni-channel marketing is a marketing term that's used a lot. It means you're not just taking one channel, you understood the sales funnel, you understood the different means. I want to give you an example for tour companies. This is an example for Napa Tour Company. What can I do on the top of funnel? And I don't want to go into each of the strategies, advertising, social media, programmatic advertising, display, SEO, PR, PPC, blogs, all of this play a big role if you remember the top of funnel awareness stage. Middle of funnel is, now I have a warm audience, what can I do? And I want to sell some special campaigns for holiday gifts, events, or I have a special pricing. Again, there is social media ads, a big area, email campaigns, a very big role, SEO, the more long-term, more focused keywords versus the top of funnel. And then also having really good website landing pages, pop-ups, homepage content, AI chatbots that are really helping to drive this area, and really high value content, ebooks, webinars, demos. I have a goal with this webinar, by the way. This is the middle of the funnel a marketing campaign I'm doing right now. Then has social media, emails, and pop-ups. And tip of funnel, now we have the hot audience. I already mentioned browse and cart abandonment, behavior-based personalized email automations, for example, SEO. So all of this, when we start with a marketing strategy, when we understand what the goals are, when we understand what the target audience is, we understand the flow along the sales funnel. Now we have a very specific marketing plan that we want to implement. I want to be even more specific. An omni-channel marketing campaign, let's say you're a winery and you want to sell off 150 cases of wine. You have to ask yourself a couple of things. So what's my special offer? You got 30% off for 24 hours only. So you make it very targeted. That is a very interesting way that you make it special for people, but you have to react. So $25 bottle, $250 case, so you get 2 bottles for free. Production cost is $10 per bottle. I made up these numbers. These are artificial numbers. That's easy to calculate. The channels I'm using is a website homepage banner. So at the time when I announce my sales period, I'm going to have a different banner than when it's active. So I want to create some buzz. I want to really people come back and say, oh yeah, there's a special coming up. I'm going to use social media. I might going to use paid social media, do some boosting or promotions 3 days before and 1 day before it's coming, get ready. And then email campaigns and Google ads. So I'm really, this is an omni-channel marketing strategy to sell 150 cases of wine. My ad budget is $3,000. And my KPIs that I'm going to measure is number of conversions, cases sold. What is my cost per acquisition? How much money do I need to spend on advertising? That's where it's mostly used to get to an acquisition. What is my return on ad spend? And what's my profit? I have a sales funnel simulator, and I'm going to use this so you see different channels. So there's Facebook ads, and I made it very simple. I'm getting 1,000 clicks. The cost per click is $1.50. Then I have organic social media. I'm getting 1,000 clicks from organic social media. I have emails, get another 1,000, and I run Google ads. So my $3,000 is evenly split between Facebook and Google. In total, I'm getting 4,000 people that are going to hit the landing page. Now, 5% go to the next step. I said 5% is the conversion rate. So I'm bringing 4,000 people to the landing page, and I have 200, that's 5% starting the buying process. 30% go for a bottle, 70% go for a case. So I have 95% of people that I'm losing, which is very normal. And I have 5% of people split in bottle and case sale that go to the next step. The next step is the checkout. So I have 200 people. I'm going to lose 25%. That's normal. So I have 150 people that complete the purchase. So 75% go to the thank you page. The sales volume is $27,000. That's what I sold. 150 orders. I have 150 purchases. Very simple. Remember, bottle, cost, all of this. So what I need to do now, first I want to know what's my real conversion rate. From the 4,000 visitors to get 150 orders, 3.75. You remember? It's very typical between 2 and 5% conversion rate. 150 orders from 4,000 leads. That's very normal. How does my profit look like? I have production cost, $13,000. I have traffic cost. I have merchant fees because a lot of people use credit card. So this is all my costs, my cost split. So I sold $27,000 revenue. Now I have to subtract the cost. So my profit is $10,000 out of this. That's my net profit. Now I'm going to think about what's my cost per acquisition. So I had 4,000. I got I had $3,000 advertising. I got 150 orders. So 3,000 divided by 150, $20 cost per acquisition. Very normal number. If you're in the $20 range, investment and ad dollar for an acquisition, that's a very normal number. Average order volume, 182 per purchase. Return on ad spend. So each dollar I spent into ad gave me $9 back on revenue. So this is how you have to look into this whole campaign, how all my activities ended up with a positive profit, good return on ad spend, good cost per acquisition. And while you run these campaigns, look at these key figures to see, is the campaign successful? That's where we use this kind of simulator to have an idea where we want to be. And then if we see that the ads on Facebook are not really delivering the 1,000 clicks, we might going to shift money to Google or vice versa. Or we're going to put another boost into the organic social media. Another way of looking to it, and I want to conclude very quickly, looking at Google Analytics, where you have the different funnel stages: view an item, add to cart, view the cart, begin checkout and purchase. So that's one view to see how well is your landing page and your final purchase process working. What is another area what's interesting to see? How did I attract people? Top of funnel in the early touch points. How do I get them into the mid? This is warm audience. And which channel plays a role? And what is the late touch point? And you can calculate here how many conversions, this is a real example, came out of the different touch points. So direct was actually very high. Sometimes email sits in there. But 2 times organic search, 4 times organic search. So you get a feeling how my different marketing channels attributed to my success. Summary, and then I'm ready for questions. So we talked about building the marketing foundation, the marketing strategy that gives us an idea about the target audience, where they are. I know what my plan is, maybe my annual plan to increase tasting visitors. I know where I can find my target audience. I understand where my channels are. I understand the channels, the marketing channels along the sales funnel. I talked a little bit about search everywhere because search is a very, very important channel for lead generation. And there's a lot of things are changing. I gave you 2 examples of omni-channel marketing tactics for a wine tour company. And I gave you an example for omni-channel marketing to sell off wine cases. We looked at the sales funnel simulator and we measured the success. That's the QR code for the presentation. Feel free to scan it on your mobile phone. You can find it there. And now I'm ready to take questions. We have about 10 minutes left.
Awesome. Thank you, Andreas. Yes, if you have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or if you want to put it in the chat as well. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
So Andreas, talking about search real quickly, most of the Winery websites don't have a search box on the website itself. Just like your opinion about adding that search element using AI on the website, what do you think the value of that might be?
I think AI, if it's done right, an AI chatbot, and we will see AI chatbots on many websites. They're already there, or there will come more. Trained and configured in the right way, an AI chatbot can be very helpful. It can answer specific questions. You can have an itinerary being prepared. You can have, all kinds of areas. I personally believe that in 5 years, the main interface to websites will be AI, will be an AI chatbot that might be talking to my AI avatar, understand who Andreas is, and already knows before the communication starts what Andreas in general thinks about whatever I want to do. So Yeah, I think it's going to be very important. There's no question. And I personally think AI chatbots will help us. You know, we have so many, and we develop websites, large websites, over 1,000 pages, for nonprofits, for all kinds of community services. There's so much information that wants to get found, and it's so hard on a website, even on a website search, it's so hard. You really have to think about the searches in the traditional way to make it easy for a user to find the information. So yes, 100%. I believe in WordPress version, let's say in 5 years, the main interface probably already baked into the WordPress platform is an AI agent. That's going to be your main interface. And you can already see examples on e-commerce. It's going to play a really big role on e-commerce, where you get product suggestions because the AI chatbot already knows you and can give you very good suggestions. Yeah, 100% will change the world. And if you're interested, we can help. I think Robert can help, but we can help with AI chatbot is one of the areas that is very important for our business. We are big on websites, and we have to think about what's happening to the websites in the future.
Absolutely. To your point, it's certainly a new world out there. I appreciate both of your insights and Robert as well. And with that, I don't see any other questions coming through, so maybe we'll give everyone 3 minutes back of their hour. Oh yes, thank you, Andreas. Please feel free to reach out to Andreas and his team. And of course, if you have any specific questions, the Chamber is here to help as well. But like I mentioned at the beginning, this presentation will be made available on our YouTube channel. So if there's something that pops into your head, please feel free to revisit it, or of course, reach out to our partners.
And I just want to give final props to Andreas. He's a great guy to work with, and he knows his stuff.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Appreciate it. And feel free to book a 30-minute meeting. Goes automatically to my calendar and shows availability. If you have any questions, happy to help. There's my emails. We are local, so feel free. And we like to network at a Yountville Chamber networking event. Natalie, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining, and have a great day.
Amazing. Thank you all. Yes. And have a good weekend.
Thank you. Okay, I hope that worked.
Yeah, I think that was great. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks a lot, and please let me know if I can help anything anywhere.
I will. Yes, I will definitely let you know. I appreciate it. Just so you know, I am working with the Bandwango team. We're trying to figure out what we can do about the passport, and they sent over some recommendations for website adjustments. So I'm going to go through those, but I may be reaching out to you or Maria or whoever can help. So just a heads up that request may be coming.
That's great, and you know that I think I mentioned this to you, she's actually right now she's gone, has a couple of days of vacation.
That's right.
So please always add Georgia, or the most reliable way is support at WSI. A quick ticket that we see it, we all see it, and Georgia manages it, so that's a good way of doing it. But
Awesome.
Please feel free to reach out. No question.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thanks for the time today. I think this is really informative.
Thank you.
Take
Have a good
care.
one.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.